You saw the Pacers in heat on NBA TV. Eventually, first there was a 26-minute delay due to issues with the lighting in American Airlines Arena. Guys kind of sitting around, eventually went back to the locker room, killing time. They did the wave. We did the wave in here as well, waiting for this game to start. And then they got to playing under hockey lights, it should be noted. Goran Dragic up top to Dwayne Wade. The Heat were plus 22 in the paint. C.J. Miles starting as a guard in this game for Indiana. George Hill did not start, and Miles was not around for long. Injures his right shoulder going for the ball defensively there, and he was done for the night. Pacers led it by 3 at the half. Paul George cranked it up in the third quarter.
No question about it, Mac. Comeback player, healthy legs, and stopping, popping, and transition threes.
He had 13 in the quarter. Indiana led by as many as 18 to the fourth. Here comes the home team, Tyler Johnson. Ooh, tough finish for Johnson, and one. Then it's Chris Bosh.
I mean, that's just looking for the foul, doesn't get it, but still hits an incredibly difficult turnaround jumper. Miami crawling back.
Just over 3 minutes to go. Game now tied. Mahinmi driving to his right, steps out of bounds. He and Frank Vogel both claim that Bosh bumped him. Should have been a foul called, so they say. Vogel was apoplectic on the sideline and earns a technical foul, which led to Miami's first lead of the entire game.
3D,
Paul George,
I'm
not
guessing
done yet.
that means upset.
That means
Paul
salty.
George hits the jump.
George had 22 of his 32 after halftime. Great two-man game to set up Chris Bosh for 3 as they retake the lead.
Big-time shot. Brent, you talked about in the pregame. That's part of his game now.
And what kind of a shot taker is Monta Ellis?
Tough shot taker,
And what
tough
kind of
shot.
Shot maker.
Maker.
Yeah, exactly. Indiana up 94-93. 2.7 seconds to go. Miami down by 2. You know who's going to get it. It's Wade. In for the layup. And the game is tied. Seems familiar.
Yep.
Flashing back to the moment where LeBron James was driving in, and remember all the talk about Indiana not having Roy Hibbert in the game. This time it was LeBron in the playoffs. Tonight it was Dwayne Wade against these same Pacers.
That was back in 2013. This time around, Chris Bosh may have helped with this.
May have been a little bit of bump.
Rodney Stuckey, where are you going? He's just jumping by Dwayne Wade, but a great left-hand finish, egging on the crowd. 5 more minutes for this one.
Wade keeps it going. This time weaving through the Pacers, another lefty finish and one. He would miss the free throw, but Miami up by 3. Last chance for Indiana, down 3. Took him 3 tries just to get the ball in.
Yeah, and then finally this over-the-top pass, really difficult pass to make. Paul George, ooh, Winslow right in his face and just a little strong. And Dwayne Wade reaching into the bag of tricks.
The bag of tricks. There's a lot still in there at this point in his career. Heat get the win. Indy's now lost 7 of their last 8 on the road. They fall to 0-3 in overtime as well. Miami wins its 3rd straight. They've won 8 of their last 9 at home against Indiana. Wade explained exactly how the Heat finished the game, including his plans on that final possession.
Yeah, I said I was going to basket. I told everybody I was going to basket, and if they would have collapsed and I had enough time, I would have kicked it for a 3. But I had a lane, and you know, I didn't want to settle for a jump shot. You know, I wanted to be aggressive and take it all the way, and I got a good lane and was able to make a nice little finger roll there. It's a trust factor, you know. Especially when you get down big in games, you're able to come back. You gotta have trust in each other. So we're finally getting that trust that we've been talking about. We're getting our rotations down, which it took a little while to do. And we got that confidence that, you know, we are a good team. And, you know, no matter what the game is, whether we're on the road or at home, we keep fighting. And whether it's back-to-backs, whether it's 4 and 5 nights, we've proven that we can play and we can fight. So that's good, you know, for this young team to see.
27 points for Dwayne Wade, none of them bigger than that final bucket to send it into overtime. How many different things had to go right there?
Well, first you had to get the ball in bounds, and you talked about the previous play, was it a proper screen being set? But I think by D-Wade coming from the opposite side of the floor, put a lot of pressure on Paul George. He didn't want to shoot the gap, and D-Wade just told him he was not going away. He was going to go straight to the basket. But Rodney Stuckey, you got to go in and commit, get in front of D-Wade, put some more emphasis on stopping the ball, make him pass the ball like he said, Brent. If he'd have cut him off, he would have kicked it out for another shooter.
I'm surprised that Paul George, though, Matt, on that screen from Bosh would go over. Even though you're saying Bosh is rooting him out just a little bit, you get away with things like that late in the game. But Paul, if he shoots the gap underneath and then plays Dwayne Wade in front of him, there's no angle to drive. Dwayne Wade saw that, took advantage, left-hand finish. Miami wins.
Bosch did a lot right in this game, by the way. He had 31, most by a Heat player this season.